Hi, what's going on? I'm Tamuu, the creator of Violet Waxing Gibbous, the comic. And let's get into it.
So, Violet Waxing Gibbous is not your typical vampire story. It's an original vampire story. Ha 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 ha. Our main protagonist, his name is Zacharias Copus, and he is the youngest son of Lord Archie Copus and Lady Clarabelle Eyre Copus.
So basically what the story is about.
Segna. Our protagonist is Zacharias, and the different thing about this whole story is the fact that the vampires are not what you think. That's right. The vampires of this story, they come from a land called Travia. And Travia is a continent full of vampires that is separated geographically by the north, the south, the east, and the west. The story mainly is centered around the vampires of the east, and their sworn enemy is the vampires. The sworn enemy of the vampires of the east are the vampires of the west, and it's been like that for centuries and centuries upon centuries. Which brings us to our other favorite character, Grunswalkie. He is a very old vampire. He's lived like many lifetimes, if you will. He's from the 12th century. And he's a friend of the Copus family. They rely on him heavily. You can't really tell if he's happy about that or if he's just like, okay. But yeah. And so the plot of this story is Zacharias, he gets sent away to the human world because there's a war between the west and the east. Once again, nobody's happy about that because the west, they have this diabolical plan to take over, and they'll do it without any qualms. And so they're building their army. The west, they're building their army, and the east, they realize that. So the only thing that Archie thinks that is possible for the safety of his progeny and his city people is to send them away. Like, send all the people who can't fight away. So that includes like his children. And Zacharias, he won't be too happy about that, but maybe he will. You don't know. So he's a complicated character by the fact that he's really naive. Like, he really needs people to take care of him, to like stand in his corner. So when he gets sent away, he's totally winded. Like, he's not prepared at all. Because first of all, he's never even like hunted on his own. That's a very big deal among the vampire community, especially in the east. He's basically had life handed to him all of his life, and now it's like the picture is just shattered. But anyway, he gets sent to the human world, and he starts trouble for himself because he finds this girl, this human girl, Anaya, Fidel, and he's like immediately attracted to her because she has like some sweet smelling blood that he's never smelled before. And things get a little crazy, but we'll talk more about that later. But right now, let's talk more about Anaya. So Anaya, she's really cool. Like, she has like a lot of friends, and she has big dreams. She wants to be an illustrator, and right now she's going to college for that. She has her best friends, and she's kind of close to her family, but there has been like a rough patch because they're kind of like overbearing, like overprotective, but they have like a middle ground, I guess. And when she meets Zacharias, everything seems like cool and everything. You know, she doesn't know he's a vampire until like later. But not very much later. But we'll talk more about that. But yeah. And so the center of the story is Zacharias like adapting to like the human world. But there's more adventure in it as we dive deeper into it. Like, you're going to see the West going against the East, and you're going to see a lot of different fantastic awesomeness. And if you like that, please consider subscribing, commenting, sharing, liking. Do whatever you want.